to do stuff like this, be able to get in front of fans for the first time, get that energy, all that stuff?
No, it's always fun to be able to go out there and really just show appreciation to our fans and supporters all year. They've been doing a great job since I've been here and showing us love, coming to the games, and really giving us a real home court advantage.
CJ, the mindset this season, the focus, that's something that you guys have talked about in making that next step. Have you seen the level of intensity and the level of focus that you want to see out of this team?
Yeah, we've been having really good practices, very competitive, getting up and down. A lot of learning, understanding that we're trying to implement some new things offensively, figuring out spacing, figuring out pace of play, figuring out those things. But I think all in all, considering where we're at currently with over 2 weeks, 2 weeks until our first game-ish, like 13, 14, 15 days, I think we're in a really good spot.
Something we've heard over and over from you guys is just playing faster. Where are you guys at in terms of doing that? What are some of the things they're doing to try to promote that?
Yeah, I think it's just, if you get stops, it's easy to play fast, right? You're taking out of balance every play and getting scored on, it slows up the pace. You got to, kind of play a different game. So the more stops we can get, the better. Obviously, you can run. You don't have to call as many plays, and anybody can kind of bring it up. We got a lot of very talented players, and I think it's just a mentality. Playing fast doesn't always mean just doing wild stuff. It means thinking the game, executing, when to cut, when to do triple handoffs, when to go back door, when to slow the tempo down and throw it in the post and make sure big fellas are getting touches. Those are the things that you can do while playing fast.
When you're putting in the offense, how long does it take before it kind of just becomes natural and there's less thinking out there?
I think the more you do it, the better, and we've been kind of drilling it each day, kind of going through 5-on-0, going through with the coaches out there, going through it with the defense out there, and just continuing to try to figure out all the reads. And then once you get in the game, you just read and react. You just want to know the options, understand that you're not going to go through every option all the time. But the better we can kind of position ourselves to know what we're supposed to do, the easier it'll be for our instincts and our talent to just kick in.
CJ, are these games this week, the preseason games, going to be kind of a measuring stick for the new things you guys have put in?
It's the preseason, so it's hard to really tell. A lot of teams are trying new stuff, implementing new players, maybe experimenting, probably not showing a lot because it's so early on in the process. But I think it's a good time to get up and down and play somebody else, right? You get tired of playing against the same guys. We've been playing full court since August, so it'll be nice to play against somebody else. But I think it's far too early to really know, with a preseason game where guys probably going to play that many minutes.
One thing Coach mentioned yesterday is wanting to double down on getting offensive rebounds and crashing the offensive glass. How do you think that applies pressure on the opponents, and how do you think that fits the skill set of this team?
We got a lot of guys that are long and athletic. JV's a great rebounder. He's able to provide us with second chance opportunities, and I think for us, the more possessions you can get, the better, right? In a game, it's hard to score, but if you're able to get 2 and 3 opportunities to score in a possession, I think you're really giving yourself a chance. And not being able to give up offensive rebounds, I think, is also important defensively for us. So it's something that we got to work on both sides of the ball with.
Speaking of possessions, how important is it to win the possession battle, and is that a focus that's discussed with the team?
Yeah, I think pace is important. You want to play smart, you want to play fast, and if you have the ball more, then that means you have more opportunities to score. So it's definitely a point of focus for us. And if we can get stops, that's even better, because then we can get out and run before the defense gets set.
How hard is it to go from being a talented team to being a winning basketball team? What does it take for these younger players to learn what it means to be a winner?
Yeah, I think it takes a lot. It takes experience, it takes sacrifice. It takes some peaks and valleys where you got to go through some great moments, you got to go through some not so great moments where you're losing games, and then you really get to see what your players are made of, and the coaches kind of double down on what they believe in, and I think that's when you really see which way you're going to go, and fork in the road, right? You're going to kind of lay down, or you're going to figure it out. So I think those are the things that are important for developing winning habits, and then it's taking advantage of these types of days, right? Where we practice before we do this. We're going to have practice tomorrow. We're going to have some 5-on-0. We're going to have shoot around. Like, are we getting better in those moments where nobody's really watching and, quote unquote, it doesn't matter, right? Like, it's not a competitive game, but are you getting better in those moments? And I think if you can build winning habits in the small moments, how you set the screens, when you set the screens, making free throws, boxing out, getting in your help. When you do the little things well, I think it helps speed up the process and speed up the development for success.
CJ, you said that it's hard to say where people are going to play during the preseason, but what goals can you establish, and what are those for your first preseason game?
I think it's to go out there and compete. I think we got a lot of words and things that we want to live by on the wall. So sharing the ball, competing, playing with pace, being selfless, and if you do those things, that means you're executing the game plan. That means you're locked in, and that generally means that we're playing the right type of basketball.